with them, and I see what happens when, we're teachers and then we focus on the girls, because girls have certain skills and boys have certain skills. When you don't really focus on the boys, then there is a problem. So the thing is, what is it that you do? The biggest thing that I have with the book that I wanted to bring through is that I wanted them to know that there are other successful male role models out there. So the book is really full of successful male role models who tell them how they did it and the mistakes that they have made along the way. But the bottom line is, in the book today, which was published in 2012, I talked about the situation that happened with my son as a Black parent. And I also talked about how to stay safe with the law. But Kevin, you know what? Even though I did all of those things, I'm not sure if I could have saved George Floyd. I'm not sure if I could have saved Ahmaud Arbery, because they were hunted down and they were killed on the street. So pretty much, even though we do all the things that we need to do as parents and as moms, the situation is still out there that we have to deal with this every single day. Every day.
Now, you said you mentioned your child was stopped for driving with an air freshener. Please explain that to me. Please tell me that story.
All right, Kevin. We lived in Brooklyn, New York, and then I realized that he was 12 years old, and I wanted him to live in a community where they had the top schools.
Okay.
So I researched the top schools, Kevin, and I moved to a town in New Jersey where the schools were the top, Blue Ribbon School District, one of the top 10 in the country. Okay. He was 12 years old at the time, but by the time he became 16, 17 and was driving, tall, bald, muscular, invisible, and dark-skinned, it was a problem. He was stopped for driving with an air freshener in the car. Christmas tree ones. It shouldn't be hanging. He was stopped because he dropped off someone in the front of their house. This is in a residential neighborhood, instead of driving inside of their driveway. He was stopped for everything in the book, Kevin. And at the time, it was difficult because, people kind of couldn't understand that. So at one point in time, I don't know if you want me to get into any of the stories, but they are really interesting. But today you can look back and say interesting, but it's the same old stuff going on today. I was just glad that I did not lose him, but it's the same old thing. At one point he was jogging and he was surrounded by officers on his residential block.
Now you mentioned New York. Now, is this a part of?
No, that was in New Jersey.
Okay.
Here in this town, Kevin, there were 2% African American. There were 67 languages spoken. 2% African American. Okay.
Wow.
So he was stopped and they said that someone called to say there was a Black man on the block. He says, I live here. And they said, where do you live? I live over there. Can you show us your ID? No, I have no ID because I am just jogging. I didn't take my ID out with me. The bottom line is that he was stopped every time. Not just that. He's sitting in the front of his house with his girlfriend in his car on an evening. They stop him and say, okay, we need to see your ID. I live here. So Kevin, one night he said, okay, I'm going to go inside to prove to you that I live here. I'm just so sick and tired of this. He went inside the house. And he figured that was cool. I said, don't ever do that again. Well,
wow.
The next day, Kevin, at 3 a.m. in the morning, the doorbell rang and he had described the officers to us. We just warned him, don't ever do that. The doorbell rang. My husband and I ran downstairs. We thought he may have left his keys because he was spending the night with a friend. So we went downstairs and it was the same 2 officers, dark-haired with glasses and another with sandy hair. Ma'am, did someone here call 911? Sir, no. No one here called 911, just my husband and myself. They're like, well, there has to be. Ma'am, is there anyone else living here? Yes, my son, but he's not here. Ma'am, please go and check because anything could have happened. So as we walked in to kind of go check, they walked in uninvited, went down to the basement because he hung out in the basement. And hindsight is 20/20. You decide, no, you don't go there. You don't go anywhere there. But they didn't do anything. They kind of just went down and maybe just to show him that I can come in your house if I wanted. But that was just weird. Just weird. Like he was also stopped at another time, Kevin. And you think that this stuff is all made up. Coming from a party with his girlfriend and another girlfriend in the car, stopped because he stopped over the white line. Over the white line is a crime. You can't stop over the white line. So
Wow.
they put the handcuffs on him and they said, let me search your car. Of course, you're not supposed to search. You don't get permission, but let me search your car. They put him to sit in the cop car. The other two girls were in the back and they were laughing the entire time and then said, oh, look what we found. It's a white bag. I wonder what's in here. All the time laughing and talking and making fun of the girls sitting in the car. Well, I'm just telling you, I couldn't take that anymore because it's just been so many times. I was part of the Human Relations Council and we report to the mayor's office. So I told the Human Relations Council, we said, all right, we're taking to the mayor's office with the chief of police. They were all there, my husband, myself, the girls' parents, everybody. The mayor from the next town, who's a black woman, thank God she was a friend of mine. She came there and she said, you know, his civil rights are being violated. This is ridiculous. So they decided they weren't going to do anything more and they were going to leave us alone. Well, the very next morning, my husband is going to work. He gets stopped again because he leaves to go to work at 5 a.m. He is stopped again. And when they stop and they check his driver's license, they say, oh, it's you, Mr. Simpson. Have a nice day.
Wow.
See, they said they weren't, but as you can see, they're looking for the black folks. But, but I want to just let you know that my phone rang, Kevin, just for reporting this. I reported it. My phone rang every single morning for 1 full year. And the first time the call came in, it came from the complaint department of the police. The first time. But after that, no one could track it. The phone company, nobody. For 1 full year, I was in Africa. My phone rang. No matter where I was, so I had to turn off my phone. As soon as I turn it on, the call was there. So you get, you know, they mess you up for stuff like that. They say, you know, they won't do this to people who are, you know, who really know the system. But when you know the system and you do something about it, they make you pay. So we've been dealing with this for a long time as black folks.
Now tell me, how do you help your son to process something like this? What do you give him, or what type of information do you give him to help him process something like this? Because at the end of the day, yes, we do understand this happens. We understand that there are people that should not be wearing that badge, but you can't believe that every single police officer that's going to pull you over is going to be this way. So how do you allow him, or how do you help him deal with that situation?
The only thing to do, Kevin, I found, is to have that talk. As mothers, we do a whole lot of crying and praying, but that talk is crucial, both from his father and myself. And we warn him not to do anything out of place. Another good thing, too, is that my friend was the mayor in the next town, and she also would have a conversation with him. Yes, you are a black man. And yes, he would say, but why? But why? But why? And we just have to say, this is the way it is, and this is the way you have to deal with it. At the end of the day, we want you to come home safe. We don't want anything to happen to you. So unfortunately, we have to deal with it because this is what is going on in our country today. People get very nervous when they see the black skin. As you know, all these implicit bias. You talk about murder, or you talk about criminals. You know, you talk about any of these things, and what comes to someone's mind? When you talk about a drug dealer, what comes to their mind? It's a black man. Even though they're not the ones that are doing most of those crimes, they get charged for it more. And that implicit bias, as soon as you hear it, you immediately think it's a black man.
Wow. Now, I do agree with you. This does happen, because I remember being 16 years old, getting, you know, pulled over for just no reason whatsoever, being accused of breaking into places. Or I remember one time I actually got accused of running my car through a liquor store, and the liquor store had burglar bars on the front of it. So it was obvious that I had not ran my car through a liquor store with burglar bars on the front, else I would have tore up the front of my car. And then I got pulled over, yanked out of the car, put on the side, had to sit there in handcuffs, where they got to check your records and all this type of stuff. What is a way that young men can be a lot more successful with these situations? Because number one, I think you are right. We are targeted somewhat by especially some police. I can't put it on all, because I know too many police, black and white, that don't do this type of stuff. But I do think we are targeted by some people. What are some of the things that you guys teach through your organization that young black kids can help to avoid these situations?
Well, one of the first things that we need to do, actually, we're just doing this at a private school right before the pandemic hit. And that is when you are stopped by an officer, don't start showing off and showing out and mouthing. Don't do that. I know you really want to say, well, what did I do? Or why are you asking me for my driver's license? Don't do that. Just quietly look at the officer's badge, look at his number, look at his name, and comply in the most respectful way possible. When I say respectful, don't, a lot of times, sometimes they'll have their friends in the car and they'll tend that they want to show up. Well, I know I didn't do anything, so what are you bothering me for? And then these young children, we're talking about in middle school, say, oh, yeah, my parent was stopped by a police officer, and they said, I'm not showing any driver's license because there's no reason. You can't do that. You cannot go do that at the end of the day. You better be respectful, respect the badge. And you say, but I see a lot of officers do this and that.
I didn't see folks. I didn't see some of our counterparts get pulled up and they jump out the car for the officer even stop good, yelling and screaming and cussing them out.
Yes.
I didn't see officers get spit on and they just stand there and they hold their peace and they just so patient with the person. But some of us, we make the wrong move. We reach for our keys, we reach to cut the car off, and then we getting tased or either we getting shot. So and I think honestly at this point with so much going on, I think we starting to get tired of it. I'm respectful to everybody, but at a certain point, if you ain't gonna respect me, I ain't gonna respect you either.
Right.
Yes. However, I understand all that, but Kevin, I'm telling you.
and I get you. You want your baby to come home at night. I get it. I get it.
Exactly. At the end of the day, you are a black man. And the thing is like this. For some reason, and I've heard officers say it, they will come on and they will say, okay, if there is a choice with the war on drugs, we know that we go to the black community because that's what they do, right? If we had a choice and we have to pull someone over in Midtown Manhattan and someone in a black community, what do you think we're going to do? We are going to the black community because these people are powerless. They're not going to do anything. If we do that in Midtown Manhattan, the next day, we're going to be called into the mayor's office. But guess what? I did that. And I was penalized because I was a little bit too uppity, acting a little bit too white. You understand? So at the end of the day, you have to just be careful until these laws and the systemic injustice is changed. You have to be careful when you encounter an officer. And I'm not saying they're all, but my experience is, and I'm not a black male, I am not a black male, and I have encountered officers who have kind of like let me go by when I beat them because I have to pick up my child.
Say, you sound like you can get at somebody now. It sounds like you done cussed out a couple officers in your day.
So it was like almost like late at night, and he was just there with the coach, and I beat because they were going so slowly, and it was the only way I needed to knew how to get there. So I beat them kind of like, did you guys just pull over? So I could go, well, who told me to do that? Well, they pulled me over and they shone all the lights. And that was in New York where there are two officers all together. They shine the lights. They see a whole lot of books in the back. At the time I was an educator. And they're like, ma'am, did you not know that you're not supposed to beep an officer? I said, well, sir, I am so sorry. I had no idea. But my son is standing by the school door with the coach and I have to pick him up. And they looked in the car and looked and looked. Ma'am, I just want to warn you again. Don't you ever beep an officer again. Sir, I am so sorry to have done that, but I really must go, please.
Now what part of New York are you in?
That was in New York.
Where do you live now?
Right now I'm in Atlanta.
Oh, okay, you're in Atlanta, okay.
Yes, I live right here. I live in Conyers. Yes. So, it's a whole different story when it comes to you guys. And we, as parents, moms especially, we're always concerned when our sons go out. You ask any black mama, and she'll tell you that. They're always hoping and praying that you come back home and come back safe and nothing happens to you. And it could be anything. We're not just talking about police officers. Mothers are always concerned about their sons. And you know that there's this bond with
women got to watch it nowadays too, though. Yep. Like it's been a few incidents, women been gunned down by police just as much.
Yes. So we are seeing an uptick in that. And so when we say save our black sons, we're kind of like using that to say, okay, our children, because it's not just the young men far more, but we see that they're doing it to our young women as well. And we plan to petition on behalf of our young women, because listen to this. We're looking at the 14th Amendment when they said justice for all. The Constitution was not enough, so they put in the 14th Amendment. So they're going to create equal justice for everyone. It has not been that way for African Americans. The big new word today, Kevin, is the F word. The F word is felony.
We can't say.
Let's
don't say it on air.
So if you're a black man and you are a felon, you're barred from voting, housing, employment, food stamps, and public benefits if you need it, jury service, all the stuff, and then the discrimination that comes along with that. So it is serious. And most of our men, if they're in jail, they're in there for some little drug offense. When you have criminals, real criminals, walking around doing a lot of stuff like hurting and killing people, and they're not getting the time that a guy is doing that is caught with a bag of weed.
Wow.
This is ridiculous.
Now we coming up on our time, so I want to make sure that we get enough time for you to get this out here. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're just now joining us, we are talking with Miss Hillary Drummond Simpson, talking about saving our black sons. Please let us know what is it that your organization is doing. I see that you're petitioning the government. What is that petition about?
Okay, so what we're actually doing, so we have a trademark now. Thank goodness the trademark is open. So we're providing educational services in mentoring, in the field of mentoring, the field of leadership, civil rights, and personal and professional development, and law enforcement. So we are saying that a lot of times when people want to petition, we leave it up to the lawmakers and to the people that are there in Congress and the Senate. But you really need to hear from the moms who are there on the line. And a lot of times it'll be a different voice that you hear, because these are people who live it every single day. So that's what we want to do. But we also want to provide all kinds of other services to make sure that we educate, empower, and encourage our young men. So we do coaching and tutoring and speaking and all of this stuff to make sure that our young men are on the right track and that they stay safe.
So if somebody wants to take advantage of what you guys have to offer, how can somebody get in contact with you and support your initiatives and as well as get help?
Yes, we are looking for supporters. We are looking for women all over this country and also men, because we want to make this group very loud and very vocal and make sure that we get things done. So you can go to saveourblacksons.org or .com. It takes you to the same place, saveourblacksons.com, and just go to the contact page and send me your information. We are on Instagram. I'm at Hillary D. Simpson. Twitter, I am at Hillary D. Simpson. So you can go to any of those places and contact us, and we're going to get back in touch with you, because we are looking for the support, because mothers have a very compelling and loud voice.
All right.
And we really want to get things done.
Well, once again, it's been Hillary D. Simpson, and give them the Instagram one more time so they can follow you.
SaveOurBlackSons.com. Or you can also go to .org, but SaveOurBlackSons.com. And Twitter, Hillary D. Simpson, and Instagram at Hillary D. Simpson.
Well, Miss Hillary D. Simpson, we definitely going to have you back and have a long conversation about this, because I don't think it's an issue that we're going to solve this year or next year. But I wish you all the best of luck, and we will do everything that we possibly can to help support your organization. Thank you so much for being a guest today.
Thank you, Kevin. You were wonderful. Appreciate you.
All right. If you are just now joining us, once again, we are trying to do our part to help you guys. We realize that the government assistance for unemployment has now stopped. So the #1 rated business show is stepping in to help you pay your bills. So please text "Pay My Bill" to 404-574-5134. If you'll text that, it'll send you all the information on what you need to do, and we will pay $100 towards one of the bills that you got sitting on your table right now. I know it ain't everything, but it's at least a little bit of help.
Can I text mine?
I know you
no, sir. You like you doing very good. All right, joining me now, Miss Tina B. How you doing today?
I'm great. How are you?
All right, now you're gonna have to introduce your guests, because you didn't tell me you was bringing all these friends.
I know. Okay, so my stage play that I created was called The Shell of a Man, which kind of goes with Miss Hillary was just talking about, really. So
Okay.
that's pretty cool. But we got Skylar Jenkins here and BJ Bowman. They play husband and wife in the production.
Okay.
But it's about 6 men and their life stories about abuse, mental, physical, depression, alcoholism. What's another one? Dreamer, jealousy.
Okay.
So they talk about what the things that they're going through. Because a lot of times I came up with this stage play because of a lot of times you date men and you realize that they don't even know how to love you. And I'm trying to figure out what's that coming from. Where is that coming from?
Okay.
So hence the shell. The shell is beautiful, but the inside is damaged. So I'm trying to find out where that damage is coming from. So they go deep into where it's coming from.
So tell me about the husband and wife couple. Tell me about your role in your story, your background in the play.
I'll let you go first.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, just like a husband and wife.
You're talking to me, baby. My role is the dreamer, and it's actually fit into my actual life.
Okay.
And when Tina gave me this role, I didn't think about it at the beginning, but it was really talking about me because I'm actually a platinum rap artist.
Okay.
So before I made it in the business, I used to do a lot of different things. I DJ'd, I tried to cut grass, I tried to do all type of stuff, trying to find my way in life.
Okay.
So I threw a lot of stuff up against the wall, hoping something would stick. And that's pretty much what this character is about. The only difference is my wife is catching the brunt of my dreams not coming to fruition.
Okay.
And she's like my biggest supporter, but she's finding herself supporting me in the process, and I'm still just dreaming. So I don't want to give away the whole scene, but
Okay.
that's pretty much my character in a nutshell.
Yeah.
Miss Wife.
You may speak.
I can speak now. Okay. But yeah, it's pretty much what BJ was saying. It's great playing the supporting character, you know,
Okay.
because living it, is one thing, like he did, but to be able to be involved in the play and all the different segments that Tina has put together, it really brings a lot of things to the head with people, because this is real life, situations that people are going through. So, if we touched one person while we're presenting it, it means so much. And, we do touch a lot of people, when we do the play.
Yeah.
Now, have you ever had to deal with a man like that in your life for real?
A dreamer?
Yeah.
No,
Like,
I haven't.
Now tell me, are you being stereotypical about the dreamer? Is like a real dreamer? Like, I really got some aspirations, some real goals, some real plans that he wanted them like fly by night dudes. Like, today I'm gonna be a TV
Fly
star.
by night.
Oh, okay.
That's the fly by night guy. And
I don't think you call that a dreamer. I think you call it something else.
A bum.
and the wife trying to deal with it. So that's the whole premise of the stage play. And then you have the different, and it touches so many people. Where when I first did it, people in the audience, they're laughing and crying.
Okay.
They're walking up to me saying, "That's my husband." 3 of those
Wow.
are my husband. 4 of those I went through. All of them I went through. I was like, wow, because it was molestation in there too as well.
Oh yeah.
But they was like they touched on all those subjects. So
Now tell me about the dysfunctional man that can't love. Tell me a little bit about that
yes,
character.
it's a lot of them. What?
I'm just saying. You might be hitting home on some stuff. So
I'm
tell me about it.
okay. I'm just saying, like, me being a single woman and a lot of single women that I know, we will meet guys and when they first start talking, the buildup is good. They're talking good. They want to love you. They want to do all these things. But then they realize, oh, this woman really can love me. At that point, they get scared.
What does that mean though? Because it's like y'all talking about somebody love me. What does that actually mean though?
It means somebody who
Like,
got your
is that-
back 100.
Okay.
Even if you mess up, she still got your back.
Like I'm
There's a
mad
difference.
as hell at this dude, but I'm still gonna cook you something to eat. for dinner.
Absolutely.
Go on there
It's
and get
raining,
something
but
to eat.
here's our I can't stand
We
him. But
appreciate
here,
that.
I don't want
Thank
you to get
you.
wet,
I was hungry. I'm glad you.
Now from his perspective, now when you say the dysfunctional man that can't love, is it a fact of not being able to show that type of affection? Because I know in my own personal relationships, I come from I guess you say broken childhood or just a horrific childhood.
Mm.
But one of the biggest things my wife complains about is I don't show her the affection.
Mm.
I'm not an affectionate
know how
person. Like
to.
I'm not a super huggy, kissy
Right,
type people.
right.
I'm like that with my little girls, but not so much by my wife. I hope she ain't
Yeah.
listening tonight, baby.
But
I ain't trying to put up her
were
business.
you like
I'm trying
that?
to get her some help.
Were your parents? I know. Were your parents huggy with you?
My father was how can I put this nicely? He was evil. So he was
straight to the point.
he was the abuser in most situations. And I
Right.
think from what happened, it left my mom in a way that was kind of shell shocked. So it made her one of those type of people that's not very emotional or not very affectionate. Like we don't hug and kiss her. Like, I know she loved me or whatever. How could you not? You know?
Right.
But she's not a huggy, kissy type person. Therefore,
Yeah.
I'm not. I'm that way with my daughters, but I'm not that way just naturally.
Right.
I'm not really a huggy, kissy, that type person.
And that's crazy that you say that, because like with my parents, I never seen them hug, kiss, touch, affection, nothing. But I'm like that with anybody that I date.
Make you crave that more?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
And my dad wasn't like the, hey baby, you know, hug me and stuff. So I think I look for that.
Okay.
Because I don't know that experience of a daddy's love like that. And it's a lot of time, even though he was in the house, the whole my mom was married 50 years till he died. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
So I can't say it's from a broken home or anything like that. I'm truly like the parent in the house, but just don't know him.
Wow.
So, you know, I think I tend to look for guys in that manner. But I think that a lot of times guys look at too close, I'm going to get hurt. So I back up.
Okay.
So they're scared of that pain that they felt before. So it's best to just back up instead of feeling that pain again. I have heard that.
Yeah. Yeah. It's hard to be vulnerable. It really is. Even though you think you're so tough and all this type of stuff, like I can deal with all kind of physical pain. We can fight all day if we want to.
Right.
But that emotional stuff, I don't want to deal with that.
That's a totally different type of pain, especially
Right.
when you've given your heart before. You know what I'm saying? So you tend to hold back with that in that area.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you do give it again, your antennas up because you're wondering, are they going to do me like the last one did?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah.
And that's what we show that in the play. And that's why it touches a lot of people. Because like you just said, wait, this may hit me, you know.
Yeah.
So, you know, you're in church and the pastor preaching, you're like, he talking to me. Can people see that? You know. So some subjects may not touch you, some will. And so we've been doing this since November of last year.
Okay.
Did 3 sold out shows.
Wow.
And we was on our way on tour in March when COVID hit.
Oh, Corona show.
So we did 2 shows since COVID been here.
Now how'd that go for you?
Real slow, but we want to just get back in the groove of things.
Oh,
But
yeah.
we will be on pay-per-view August 29th though.
Now how are y'all handling that as far as like the actors? Or y'all like testing the actors? Y'all taking temperatures? Or because
we do
you can't have all the
temperature.
masks on stage.
No,
I know
you
that
can't.
don't look good on camera.
And they people that was coming in, they were the company itself was checking the temperature. So
Now you said as far as the crowd, are y'all trying to get a crowd back, or y'all just going?
no, I think we're
straight
just gonna
video for
go.
right now?
Yeah, that's why we're doing the pay-per-view. We just
Okay.
gonna do it on there because it's hard to get people to come out.
Now, what got you interested in stage plays?
I actually do stage plays. Like I act myself.
Wow.
And a
really?
lot of and the thing about my stage play is it's all unscripted. So what
Okay.
you see, you may not see
So y'all freestyle.
again and
Yeah,
again and
straight
again and
improv.
again. Everything
Wow.
is just you know unscripted. So I
Now,
did.
how do you do that? Is that like everybody got a basic outline? You know what's supposed to happen in the scene, and you go for it, or is it we just get out here and do
Well,
it?
I just tell him he's a dreamer. He builds on that. They build on
Yeah.
that.
So
She
I
don't
was-
know what he's gonna say,
I
but
don't know what she's going to say.
when
We
you're in a
just react.
relationship, you automatically can bounce off each other. So they just make it, make it work.
So you can put me on there. I can be a radio host.
Right.
There you go, there you go.
Right. Right. Absolutely. So it works and people love it.
So what's next? I know you say you got the pay-per-view thing going. Are
Yeah.
y'all just kind of banking on that and seeing how that's gonna work out for you? Or
Yeah. Hopefully that'll work out great. And I got another play I'm getting ready to do with all women called "What Do You Want to Eat?" A lot of time it's a metaphor, of course, of women don't know what we want.
okay.
So, I don't like that cameraman. Okay. he didn't know all night.
Well, he looked what I was about to say. Your
But
face
yeah,
was
we never know what we want. So it's just like, what do you want to eat? I don't know. If you ask a woman, what are you looking for in a man?
Okay.
I don't know.
But what you looking for?
I want.
You got a man?
No, I don't.
So what you looking for?
I'm looking for a companion. That's what I'm
What you
looking
want to
for.
eat?
Okay. Pizza. I love pizza. And that's real pizza. Because
Veggie-
these days you
veggie
can't
pizza.
even say pizza. But yeah, it's hard to say because I can say I've been married before, but I'm looking for more of a companion now. Someone just want to just enjoy life together.
Wow.
Everybody's so scared to say, oh, we hanging out together because they have so many, I guess, different ones that they deal with. So they have to kind of like keep you in the closet, so to speak. And I'm not a
Wow.
closet girl. So
Well, I've been married for the last 15 years. It's out the closet. It's
Man,
out the bag.
I'm just saying.
I got kids all
Just
up.
saying.
Everybody know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now you didn't talk about two people. You didn't talk about the dreamer and the dysfunctional person. What's the other four people you deal with? In the play?
I was just saying the whole play is dysfunctional.
Okay.
It's not one. It's the dreamer. It's mental abuse, physical abuse, alcoholism, depression, molestation, and jealousy. It's
Wow.
7 subjects that we touch on, and they all have wives, and it's about the why they this way, how it affects the wife, and then bring it all together of this is why I'm this way.
Now, how do you tackle? Now, I assume this is all black men. This is not just men and just black men specifically.
Yeah.
How do you deal with the depressed issue in black men? Because I know that's a hard one in our community.
It's very hard. And the guy who plays it is actually a comedian, and he suffers sometimes from depression.
Okay.
And so it's kind of like go hand in hand because they try to be happy to fool us.
Okay.
When they're actually hurting, you know. So, and that's what he says a lot too. You know, he laughed to not cry and make other people laugh and, you know, things like that. So it goes really deep with him with that.
Wow.
Yeah.
And how long you guys been acting?
Skylar?
How long you guys been acting?
Well, for me, off and on, the last 10 years or so.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
BJ?
Yeah, I've been acting all my life. I mean, I've been
right.
No, I've been acting for about 10 years, but on this level, since I signed with Tina, it's been what 5 years?
5 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Now, are y'all looking at going to actual screenplays, or you like the stage more?
I like the stage, but I write movies too. I do. Well, unscripted
You're doing
movies.
too much.
You know what?
You're gonna drop an album next.
It's never too. Hey, it's never too much. Trust. But yeah, I shoot movies too. So this is our next step. We're gonna make this into a movie.
Wow.
So,
All right.
yeah.
So what else you got coming up?
I think the beautiful Skylar right here. She do lingerie. So we doing a live actual fashion show on Sunday.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yep.
So how y'all gonna do that? Y'all gonna do it online, or is it gonna be actually in person?
It's in person too. People in person too.
Facebook and Instagram Live, and we're selling some tickets. Just a small, intimate crowd for the
Inside,
tickets.
yeah. But it's gonna be Facebook and Instagram Live.
Yep.
Now, do y'all think we get live events back before the end of this year? I'm starting to worry. I don't think we're gonna get them back.
If we do, it'll be like to the capacity what it was before.
Right.
Might be like trickle in, but
because my shows normally like 250 plus. Nah, I don't even see that many people coming out like that no more.
Not this year.
Yeah, we just recently did the Georgia Minority Business Awards, and typically we get a guest list of at least about 500 something people.
Yeah.
So beforehand, I mean, we had planned this last year, but we had to do it in July. So after postponing it, we had to cut it down to 250. Then after that, we had to cut it down again. So I think we probably ended up with about 100 people. It was socially distanced. Everybody had to wear masks throughout the whole event. It was just awkward. It was odd.
So
and it's like
awkward.
that whole human interaction now is getting more and more awkward.
Sad. We didn't like each other before. This is really bad. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Like people on their phone, they just sitting there on their phone, they ain't talking to each other. Now it's like people dodging you and stuff.
I know.
I be going in the store and they be like, ooh, ooh, ooh.
No, I be going to my people's houses and they be like that. Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Mama. Lord knows don't call.
Man, you be about to bust a vessel now because you don't want to call.
I'm trying to tell you. I'm praying to God that we get stuff back at least by 2021. I hope posts will start to get back to normal, because I think once we actually see a vaccine, then people will start to calm down. And I know even with a vaccine, it's still going to be about 6 months, almost a year before everybody gets vaccinated. Folks feel comfortable with that.
Yeah.
Now, anybody got kids?
Yep.
Yeah, we all do.
Y'all send them back to school?
I got my son 23.
Oh, okay.
All my kids are grown, so
y'all lucky. I got a 13-year-old that's losing her mind and an 8-year-old.
He said,
coming out
okay,
right
that 13 is something else.
Virtual.
But I can't relate to that to my 23-year-old son driving and being stopped. And I have had that conversation with him to say, hey, just comply. Just we can get you out of jail. We can't get you out of the grave. You know what I mean? So it's like, just go with them and we'll figure it out later. Because they want to say, what I do. That's the main thing. But I tell him, just try to just calm, be calm, and we'll come get you.
Yeah, it is hard.
It's hard.
Yeah.
it's hard.
I have 3 sons, so yeah.
Wow.
Oh, okay, yeah. So
I
it's
can relate.
hard.
I got approached by 5 police officers the other day. I mean, about 3 weeks ago.
Wow.
It was scary. I was sitting in my car. They were looking for somebody else that had a car like mine, but still they approached my car, and they could have easily went the other way. So,
Yeah.
I find now that I'm a lot older, I'm like 41 now. I don't get stopped hardly at all anymore.
Mm.
But when I was younger,
You light skinned.
Yeah, you light
kinda-
skinned. You
I was
good.
light
You
skinned in my
good.
20s though. I was even more light
They
skinned.
were checking for light skin then.
Yo, he one of us. Let him go.
I'm gonna tell y'all something. Because I get tired of it. Because light skinned folks got it work. All right. Not only do we get racism from whites, but we
get it
also
from
get
the
from dark skinned black folks. Okay. Dark skinned black folks do not like light skinned
Yes,
folks. Okay.
absolutely.
So I'm starting a new movie, Light Skinned Matter. All right. And he almost a shade enough. to
Right,
do it.
you
All right.
barely made it. You
You
almost didn't
just
make
got
it.
in.
Me and Skylar like 11 and 12 a.m. right here.
I'm light skinned when it matters. You know what I'm saying?
Well, my kids out in Paulding County, so they started back today, first day back in school. So I'm praying to God that all of it works out. I will say this: the schools do seem like they're pretty serious about it. They've spread the desk out. The classrooms are not quite as packed as they were.
Yeah.
And then me personally, I'm making sure that my kids, anytime y'all up, if you're not sitting at that desk, you better have a mask on your face, moving around that classroom.
Yeah.
Right.
So I'm doing everything I possibly can to try to keep them safe, but I promise you my blood pressure's been up all day. I've been calling my wife, hey, you heard for the kids?
I know.
Right?
I know.
That's really serious.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely serious.
Well, I got to thank y'all so much for joining us today and being a part. Once again, how can people join and watch the play on pay-per-view?
You go to statusnetwork.net and look up The Shell of a Man, and it's going to be right there, August 29th, 8 p.m. Make sure y'all
August
go get
29th,
it. Yeah, and the
8 p.m.
ticket's only $1.99, y'all. Y'all got $2 now. $2.
$2.
That's it.
And then also send me a press release. We're running on the Atlanta Business Journal for you.
Okay,
Make
cool.
sure that we get it out to our 300,000 readers.
Nice.
Right here on the Atlanta Business Journal. Oh, also before we go, hold on 1 second, producer. Sharetta Walker on LinkedIn is questioning. She said, what got you started in the acting career and what motivates you to act? I'm going to get at all three of y'all because she did not tell me who to aim that towards. So just real quick, all three.
Oh, I just love the field in itself, and I wanted to, like I said, sometimes I just wanted to see if I could shoot a movie, and I just grabbed my camera and shot a movie. And then when the play that I was in, I said, you know what, I want to do a stage play, so I just went for it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I just enjoy it. I was inspired in high school and then, dropped off a little bit, started back, did some local, stage plays. I just love it. It's fun, reenacting. So, yeah.
Wow.
Well, I was always told that I was like a comedian and I could act because, I was just crazy. But what really inspired me was Tupac, seeing him in Juice,
Okay.
and how he was such a natural. And I I was like, I could do that.
I'm going to give you something for that, brother.
Yes,
I'm from the
sir.
Tupac days.
All right.
Was anybody light skinned in it?
Oh my goodness. No, she didn't. Take me to break.
Shots fired. Shots fired.
Thank you, Kevin.
Thank y'all so much for joining us. This is KC Pride,
This Kenyana.
and we asking you to tune in to ABJ Radio right here on the Real 1100 AM every Monday from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. Whether you're in your car, on your phones,
Are at your job.
tune in to ABJ Radio, the #1 rated business show right here on the Real 1100 AM, Monday 6 p.m. to 7 p.m.
Hey.
Kids follow your lead. Help them stay healthy. Wash your hands. Don't touch your eyes, nose, or mouth. And cover coughs and sneezes. Clean and disinfect the objects you touch often, like your phone, the remote, and doorknobs. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. And if you're the one who's sick, stay home. This station is part of the Beasley Best Community of Caring, and we care about your family. For more info, visit cdc.gov/COVID-19.
Hey folks, Handsome Josh is here to reveal some big news to all the AM 1100 listeners.
I have an app.
That's right, you can now check out all your favorite programs right here on The Real with the Real 1100 app. Whether it's sports, entertainment, or lifestyle, the Real 1100 definitely has you covered.
So why don't you just tell me how much it's going to cost me?
And here's the best part. It's available in your Google Play or Apple App Store, and it's free to download.
Actually, you can count me in on this one.
So download the Real 1100 app today and stay in tune with The Real.
I can't believe we have to make this commercial.
It's ridiculous.
You'll think it's ridiculous too. Listen to this.
This commercial is about, well, it's about parents being rude at high school athletic events.
Ridiculous, right?
It gets worse. Studies show more than 75% of new high school officials are quitting because of bad adult behavior.
So now there's a shortage of refs here in Georgia, in almost all sports.
No officials means no more games.
Is that what you want for us?
Come on, parents.
It's time to grow up.
Cheer for your team,
Be proud of your children.
but stop being so ridiculous.
And don't make us run another commercial.
Because we will.
This message presented by the Georgia High School Association and the Georgia Athletic Directors Association, reminding you to always practice good sportsmanship.
To some, the sound of a baby babbling doesn't mean much, but that's not true. They're testing out vowels and consonants and trying different sounds. And by 12 months, their babbling is beginning to take on meaning, especially if there's no babbling at all. Little to no babbling by 12 months or later is just one of the possible signs of autism in children. Learn more at autismspeaks.org. Brought to you by Autism Speaks and the Ad Council.
Honorary Forest Ranger Betty White here, lending a hand to my dear friend Smokey Bear, because for 75 years, he's only said,
only you can prevent wildfires.
but there's a lot more to say. Like if you park your car on tall, dry grass, the hot exhaust pipe can start a wildfire. So be careful out there. Go to smokeybear.com to learn more about wildfire prevention. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Woo! And we are back right here on the #1 rated business show. I am your host, Kevin C. Pride. I don't even think I told y'all that today. That's all right. Once again, in light of the unemployment benefits running out, the #1 rated business show is stepping in, trying to help you guys pay a few bills. Please text "Pay My Bill" to 404-574-5134. Send us a copy of your bill, and we're gonna send you $100 towards that bill. And I got my friends. They're stepping in and they're helping us pay once right along with us. Joining me in studio right now is Mr. Lorenzo Gordon. And you're gonna have to hurry up and jump on that.
How you doing, man? What's going on?
How you doing today, brother?
All is well. All is well.
Now, I'm sorry to get right into it, but you are a Humbl Hustr. Please tell us about Humbl Hustr.
Yes, sir. So we created the brand. It's all about the efforts and entrepreneurship, which is why we dropped the E's in both Humbl and Hustler.
All right.
I feel sometimes like when you see someone, you really don't see all the hard work they put in behind the scenes.
Okay.
You only see like the accolades, the achievements, the goals, and all that good stuff, but they don't really see all the hard work and effort that goes into getting to that level.
Okay.
So fast forward, we wanted to create a brand that really uplifts those individuals and also allow them to tell their story, which is how we came out with the social media campaign called Share Your Hustle, giving insights from corporate innovators to also entrepreneurs, just sharing the behind the scenes process of what it takes to get to the level they're currently at right now, just for any upcoming aspiring entrepreneurs, as well as people who are looking in that corporate space as well.
Now, you guys just successfully completed an event this past weekend, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We just kicked off our first Hustl Print pitch competition, where 9 young brothers were able to pitch their best business idea to a panel of judges for $1,000, $500, as well as $250.
Wow. Now, were you able to find a winner to that?
Yeah, yes, sir. So the pretty cool thing is Isaiah Waller, who's the CEO of Definitive Look, he was the grand prize winner.
What's the name of his business?
Definitive Looks.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's a mental health platform. It's all about uplifting teens that's battling with depression. So he created a program called the Mind Stretch, where he connects young teenagers with local psychiatrists and for therapy and all that good stuff. The second winner was Jordan Jackson. His brand is called Black Clothing Co.
Okay.
So he created a curriculum that's targeted for middle schoolers that's interested in entrepreneurship. And our final contestant was Abubakar Berry, who was from West Africa. His brand is all about connecting foreigners all across the globe through his platform called Foreign Air.
Wow.
Yeah, so it was really cool. It was really cool because the funny thing about it, with our curriculum, 80% of the young boys started out as a t-shirt brand.
Okay.
And literally towards the end of the program, every last one of the t-shirt brands transitioned to a full-out business operation.
Wow.
So it was pretty awesome to hear them pitch their idea to a panel of judges.
Now, what is Humbl Hustr? Is it a just a nonprofit to help, or are you an actual company doing selling product?
No, great question. Yeah, so Humbl Hustr, the brand Humbl Hustr Group, is the overall head of the actual company.
Okay.
We have a nonprofit space which is called Humbl Hustr Foundation, where it's all about improving the quality of life in young Black brothers in the city of Atlanta.
Wow. Now you're specifically focused on young men?
Correct. Yeah, we specifically target young men simply because there's extremely a gap in between the young man as well as that business space in the high school level. And what we were able to discover is that a lot of these young men, they have amazing ideas. They just need somebody to just really sit down and help them scale it and build it. And that's what our curriculum is all about. Outside of that, we also have 3 other different programs under the nonprofit space. One is called Hustle Sport, where we connect young men that's interested in becoming like a professional basketball player, football player, anything athletically driven. And we pair them with like local Atlanta basketball trainers and football trainers for just mentorship, but also basketball clinic techniques and football techniques. We also have another program called the Hustl Print Music, where we connect young men that's interested in becoming a rapper. We pair them with like local songwriters, local producers, sound engineers, just showing them different variations of the music industry outside of just being in the limelight.
Okay. Now is Humbl Hustr, what is the actual core foundation? What do you guys do? The actual product of the are you a print operation?
Yeah, so we're a lifestyle brand. So we sell merch, we sell t-shirts, we have a planner. It's called the Hustl Print for any entrepreneurs that's in the startup phase that needs like a how-to guide. We also sell cups. We're literally an all lifestyle brand. So anything you could think of that you can actually touch that keeps that hustler on the go is what we provide for them.
Oh, so y'all gonna be putting out cell phones and CRMs and everything else.
Hey, listen, that's definitely more to come, right?
I love it, man. And I love the fact that you guys are focusing on young Black men, because I think in our push a couple years ago to promote women and help women, we started to forget about all those little young Black boys that nobody was paying attention to.
Absolutely.
And I think somebody needs to have that focus, because I know I mentor a lot of young Black men, and trust me, they need some guidance.
Yeah, man, no, I agree, man. And it's funny because that's literally where Hustl Print came about. I felt there was a need. Like, it's so many organizations targeting young girls, right? Like Adjust Your Crown or any kind of
Girls That Code. Yeah,
exactly. You know, and I don't really see a lot of mentor groups for young men for business. Now, there are a lot that teach them how to tie a tie, how to teach them to speak a certain way, and how to look the part. But that business mindset, I didn't really see a lot of that in the city of Atlanta. So the team and I felt there was definitely a need to develop some kind of curriculum to show these young men, like, hey, you can literally start your business with just $100 just to kick off the LLC, which can transition to a free EIN number on the IRS website. That can transition to your opening a free business bank account with Chase, you know? So we teach them that literally in the first 2 weeks. And now we're just pretty much expanding the mind. And now they're thinking more like businessmen.
Wow. Now, what's your background?
Yeah, so my background is entertainment. So I used to do a lot of PR and marketing back in the day. I literally started my career here in the city of Atlanta with a company called MC Media Works. However, entertainment, like, I love it, right? But at the same time, it's a constant go. Like, literally, once you're doing one project, you're literally on to the next project. So you really can't really embrace the moment. And I felt like I wanted to kind of transition into that more social impact space, still utilizing my resources from that industry, but also connecting dots just to uplift the next generation of Black male leaders.
Wow, man. Now, you're like a pretty young guy. How old are you? If you don't mind me
I'm
asking?
32. I wish I was young.
Dude, I get so sick of y'all little 30-year-olds.
Gray hairs right here, man.
Y'all 30-year-olds coming in and man, I'm 32. I remember being 32. It felt better than 41, I tell you that.
I know, right? Now I feel you, man.
It's commendable, man, what you're doing. If somebody wants to support the organization, or if they want to support by some merchandise, how does somebody do that?
Yeah, man. So it's simple. They can literally go to our website for the nonprofit is www.hustlprint.com. And that's HUSTLPRINT. And the website for Humbl Hustr Group is www.humblehustler.com without the E's.
Now, how are y'all able to pull something off this past weekend with this whole COVID thing just lingering on and this type of stuff?
Man, it was crazy. Like, and it's funny you say that, man, because I plan events a lot, and I will say this was by far the hardest event to plan, simply because it kept coming together, but also falling apart, right? So, and we had to partner with the city of Atlanta for the community cleanup portion, which would only can accommodate no more than 30 people. And the inside of the space, they were saying no more than 30 people too as well. So we had to basically shorten our guest list, make sure everybody was 6 feet apart, make sure mask was involved, as well as gloves, as well as hand sanitizer throughout the entire space.
Wow.
There was even moments where people kind of wanted to take the mask off and we were like, hey, just wait up 5 more minutes, please, you know?
I know what it's like.
But it's pretty cool, man, because now like all the sponsors who was a part of the actual event, they were extremely impressed with the outcome of, and now they're looking to do more kind of like programming this year too as well, which is pretty awesome because one of our partners was State Farm, another partner was TJ Facts, a local bank, Atlantic Capital Bank. Like all of them literally took a risk with this event because of the COVID, you know, and this could have been like a bad PR move for their brand. However, they took a risk and it was really, really a win-win on both parts. So we're excited.
Now, explain that to some of these young nonprofits that's out here that's trying to find partners and trying to find help and this type of stuff. How do you end up with a sponsor like State Farm or some of the banks in this? How do you get that? Is it just purely I knew somebody that knew somebody, or did you target those people? How do you get that type of sponsorship?
Well, I always tell people when it comes to like brand partnerships, it has to make sense. You have to connect the dots. So State Farm is a major corporate. They're a big corporation, right? So they have a community outreach leg, and they need more visibility in the city of Atlanta, in the community. So what better way than to partner with the local nonprofit that's willing to provide all of the legwork and do all the programming? Only thing we're asking you all is just pretty much help us financially on the financial backing. It's a win-win for State Farm because now there's a trusted or an organization that's in the community putting everything together. We're putting our name associated with it, saying like, hey, we support this and we're going to come out and support it. And it's a win-win for both. So I tell people before reaching out to any corporate partner, you want to look at the foundation and you want to look at the company's mission first. And you want to make sure that it kind of aligns with what you have going on. And then you want to make sure when you're reaching out to them for potential partnerships, make it personable. Like instead of just saying, hey, say, hey, Karen, you know, I enjoyed, having a conversation with you last week. Below is a list of ways I would love to partner with you all.
Okay.
I'm available on your time. Feel free to reach out and just go from there. That's my thoughts, man.
Well, you are an awesome young man. Whether you want,
I need to record that. I need to record that.
But no, man, I think it's so commendable what you're doing. Trying to teach more young Black boys how to be entrepreneurs and how to be successful at it, teaching them the right ways, getting the paperwork in line and this type of stuff. Because I think so many times I deal with so many young Black businesses. That's one of the biggest things that we kind of fail on is that paperwork. We don't put those measures in place. And a lot of times it comes back to bite us. So I think it's just commendable. And I know Jay Bailey over there at the RCIE Center. I mean, he is a powerhouse when it comes to entrepreneur, and he is real about what he's doing over there.
Extremely real, extremely supportive. Like Jay is literally a blessing to a lot of entrepreneurs in the city of Atlanta because not only is he extremely transparent, but he's extremely available to have conversations with anybody. It doesn't matter if they're in the startup phase or they've been established for years. He's willing to give any advice that's going to be beneficial to that young entrepreneur as well as that seasoned entrepreneur. So, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Now, once again, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Lorenzo Gordon, if people want to get in contact with you or support the organization, how can they do that?
Yeah, man. So you can follow us on Instagram at Hustl Print. And that's HUSTL PRINT.
Once again, Hustl Print. Thank y'all so much. It's been another edition of the #1 rated business show right here on the Real 1100 AM. Once again, we're doing our part, trying to step in and help you guys pay some of your bills. Please text "Pay My Bill" to 404-574-5134. Send us a copy of that bill and we'll pay $100 towards it. And we're going to be doing that all during the month of August. I got my friends. They say they're going to jump in. They're going to start matching. You know how we do. So please, once again, text "Pay My Bill" to 404-574-5134. I am KC Pride. Follow me on social media on all channels. And we are out.
You're listening to WWE Real 1100 AM, and we want you to practice good hygiene by simply washing your hands. So enjoy 20 seconds of Blinding Lights by The Weeknd as you practice safe habits.
I'm running out of time, 'cause I can see the sun light up the sky. So I hit the road in overdrive, baby. Oh,